Hello peeps, thought we'd have a little look through what I picked up yesterday because I've got some quite nice stuff. Got this, looks nice, and it's a big chunk of brass. That's quite heavy, that is. I suspect it's getting on for a kilo. Let's have a look. 800, 900 kilo of brass sitting there. So that's what, £3. Nothing spectacular, but it never is when you're scrapping. It's all the little bits you have to put together. Got myself some cable from a vacuum cleaner. Notice I didn't say Hoover for the first time. What's this? More brass. Horrible cast brass, admittedly, but not quite as heavy as that. So we've got a kilo and a half of brass. Got ourselves a bit of cable, which rather than sodding about with, I should put straight in the VIR bags. Looks like prices are coming up, so I may be doing a scrap run soon. God knows I need to. I've got 20 odd bags now of VIR, which usually equates to, as I think I've said before, 20 kilos per bag. So we're looking at 400 kilos of VIR. From what I can tell, that was up to about it was in London, VIR was back up to £1.18 a kilo. But I need to check at my local scrapyard, see what they're paying. Because obviously the one I checked online isn't the one I normally go to, because the one I normally go to doesn't have an online price update or any sort of online presence, which is a shame. But I can go and do my scrap run because the ambulance is back. It was taxed this morning. DVLA, thank you. Sort of thank you. You've backdated the tax to the 1st of June. Would I have liked it if you'd waited another week and gave me instead of nicking 3 weeks tax off me after I've waited 4 months? No, I'm glad. Thanks DVLA for finally getting your finger out. Right, well, what else have we got? Not a lot last night, but I did score a nice big Apple computer. These have, usually when I've scrapped this type out, they've been slightly larger and they've been servers, so I don't think this is a server. Got some other odds and sods of wires. It's middle of the month, it's always quiet during the middle of the month. I could never work out why some weeks I got bugger all and some weeks I got loads. And then my mate pointed out, middle of the month's always quiet. I suppose people aren't buying stuff, so people aren't throwing stuff away. Never occurred to me. Never occurred to me. Anyway, we've got this big Apple computer. I mean, they're always heavy, so it's difficult to tell what's in them. But we'll have a look if you've ever wondered. Maybe we can, oh look. Ooh. Oh, dear me, it's so big and heavy it's collapsed on the table. Can we see that? Can we see that, peeps? That looks tasty. Can't really get it any further in the frame, but that looks like a nice motherboard. No RAM sticks in it, they're all empty. Remains of, oh, I think someone's been in it and took the RAM sticks out because there's a broken card there. Someone's ripped it out rather than unscrew it. There's the power pack. Oh yeah, hard drive's gone as well. Well, at least they've taken the hard drive out, which is the right thing to do. Don't leave your hard drives in. You don't want all your personal porn history being known to every Tom, Dick and or Tom, Dick and Dirt, as the case may be. Let's see what sort of CPU we're dealing with. It's only a single, but I don't mind. Nice big motherboard. Nice big, held on with way too many screws, heat sinks. So that seems to be Apple all over. Probably going to be copper, is it? No, that's aluminium. That will just go straight in the alley, which, as you know, or as I do keep saying, but nobody ever watches, so no one knows. I don't usually weigh in my alley. I may do this year. And once again, we've got, I don't know if all apples are like this, but every apple I've had so far has been like this. A card I usually put up, for some reason, I don't know whether I'm doing it right, because as I say, I'm not an expert. I actually go by what boardsalt.com says, which is pointless because they're in America and I'm in the UK. But I put this in with my Pentium 2 slot card CPUs. Whether that's correct or not, no idea. That's where I put them. Yep, all the RAM's been taken out because you can see some of the clips are busted, but it doesn't matter. Got myself a motherboard, got myself a CPU, and I got myself, more importantly, a big container to put all my scrap. That's what I like these for. These are almost as good as microwaves for piling scrap into. Now these are held down with all of these little risers, I do believe. And when I've done these before, as I say, they were servers I did before. They weren't quite the same as this. But there's your CPU, right there. Comes with one of them weird sockets. Exactly the same as the server boards. The server boards have got exactly the same, I suppose you get a bit of daughter board with it. It's certainly not a riser card, is it? They've got the same CPU boards on the servers, but you've just got two of them side by side. It's just the motherboard's bigger. So, not sure what pot to put that in. I think I've got a separate pot for that style of motherboard, that style of CPU rather. I'm pretty sure I've got one. Is this going to be one of them risers that never actually undoes unless you get to the screw on the other side, which means taking out the entire backing metal plate before you can take out the motherboard? I think it is, you know. I think it is. Because usually you undo a couple of screws and then you slide the motherboard that way and it comes off these little locking slots. I don't know if you can see them. There's one there. See if I can zoom in on it. There, there's a little tab and you slide the board that way. The tab goes back into the space and you lift the board up. The secret, of course, is finding all the screws that stop the motherboard sliding, which of course is the trick. And there's always the odd one that's bent over because of the animal that went in and took all the riser cards out of it, has mullered it. So then, let's see if we can find this. There's one screw there. I think, which is always a dangerous thing for me to do, I think that's it. But there's only one way to find out. And that's to try and move it. I like to move it. Now I know my head's going to be in the way, is it, for this most of the time? Yes, I know, annoying. No, I'm annoying all the time. Just nearly moving, but not quite. Something be holding it in. I don't know, I'm talking like a pirate. Something be holding it in, Jim lad. Hey. Arr. Oh, no, I think, I do believe. Ha 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 ha! Simple once you know how, or once you get lucky. There you go. There's probably lots of lovely stuff on that. There's crystals, I know them. There's gold corner BGAs, I know what they are. There's lots of crystals on here. I'm actually get around to finally filling that bloody pot up I've been trying to fill up for 3 years. They're thingy bobs. I don't think they're tantalums, are they? They're MLCCs. I have no idea, to tell you the truth. I'm just trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. E-Waste Ben does a much better job of it. Then he's Australian, they always sound like they're doing a good job of it. It's always sound very professional, don't you think, Australians? Very to the point. That's what I love. Not just about Australians, about everybody. Just get to the point, stop faffing about, stop walking around the houses and just tell me what you're fucking trying to say. Perhaps all men are like that, I don't know. Well, no, I don't think they are, because most of the people that annoy me with their walking around the houses not just saying what they want to say as men, so I suppose it's the same, no matter what sex you are, or orientation, if you're upside down straight. Well, there you go, it's a pretty board, looks very nice. I assume it goes in with small socket motherboards. I honestly have no idea. But I'll get back to you in a sec when I've stashed this somewhere safe, because my stash is getting a bit wobbly. It's getting to the point where it's about 3 foot high, and you know, unsupported motherboards get a bit wobbly after 3 foot high. Now my camper's home, I can start putting some of the stuff that's meant to be in the camper, because the camper's got an alarm, the garage hasn't, so it'll be safer in the camper. I'll get back to you in a sec, peeps. Right, there we go, got that stacked away without it falling everywhere. No idea what holds this in, but as I've said to you before, the old scrapper's adage of undo everything to see what falls out. Means bugger all, apparently. Let's unscrew a few more bits. Let's see what falls out, shall we? Right, so one assumes that the DVD drive will come out. Oh, okay. Come out. But I've only undone the screws this side, which probably means there's hidden screws the other side, because they do that to you. They're sneaky like that. Not so much the Chinese, but the Japanese. They're all very. Oh god, you wouldn't believe how sneaky they are. You wouldn't believe how sneaky they are. Can't feel screws in the other side, but it doesn't mean a lot. Do I have to leave a shit? I don't know. Well, this really is like the blind leading the blind, isn't it? Or is it the inept leading the uninitiated? Something or other? I don't know. Does the other side of the computer even open? Do we know? Do we care? Let's have a look, shall we? No, the other side doesn't open. So, the chances are, whatever I've got to undo is in this side. I say the chances are I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm looking in all the wrong places. Is that a screw there? One doesn't seem to know. Do I have to do something with this? Things that make you go which is pretty much 99% of life in my case. It's always making me go Tell you what, rather than me looking totally amateur, let's turn this off and turn it back on when I figured out what the fuck I'm doing here. Right then, so where was I? Oh yeah, there's always a hidden screw. Yep, there is always a hidden screw. In this case it was hidden up in there. Once that was out, CD-ROM drive comes out. There's an Allen bolt in the back panel, in here, where I'm pointing, down the bottom of the screen, or is it the top of the screen? Oh god, here we go, top of the screen. There's an Allen key in there, totally different size from all the other screws. It's an Allen key. Typically there's an arrow there pointing to tell you where the securing screw is, but it's hidden underneath this tray at the bottom. Ingenious, but we know what Apple are like for screwing over aftermarket stuff. This is a really heavy power pack. Gotta say one thing for Apple, they know how to make a power pack. What am I going to do with it? Cut the cables off. I'm going to throw them in my bag of singles, because this year I'm taking in singles, because I've been stripping down my wires and I've got loads of singles left over. But I can't be bothered to put through the stripper, because it doesn't like thin wires, if you remember. I told you when I tested it out, it doesn't really like thin wires that much because of the smoothness of the roller. Do you remember that? Any of the two of you that watched that video? No? Well, that's why I'm taking in singles this year, even though I don't normally. This connector here, it's only a power connector, but has it got gold contacts? You tell me. Are they gold? Are they brass? I'll stick them in with the gold contacts. Let the poor sap buyer on eBay sort it out. They're all going to be brass underneath anyway, so it's not like I'm giving him something he doesn't already have. Can't be bothered with the ribbon cables unless they're gold contacts. Crack them open, peel them back. Well, there's silver on the outside. Somebody did tell me that only certain coloured ones have got gold in. On a certain end where it goes into the motherboard there'll be gold, and the other ends won't be. Have a look. There's silver on the outside, and I can't be bothered to strip them. It's getting lazy in the old age. Right, we got rid of that computer case. That's over on top of my microwave pile for this week, which is only about 4. Only 4 microwaves last week. Some weeks I do 20. I just drive past 6 of them and think, no, I really can't be bothered. Coming out that way, doesn't need my t-shirt to. Looks like it comes out front or back. Front, we have to give it a good hard tug. Okay, I'm used to that, being a man. Right. DV players, whatever you want to call them, DVRs, DVD players, CD-ROMs, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not, I take the board out of them. I take them out the floppy drives as well. Although floppy drives I normally whack, they're very small boards in a floppy drive, so I normally do a load of them at once. A bit like when I do my plugs, I'll sit down when I'm bored, got nothing to do. It's a Thursday, all the bins have been emptied, so I have to wait for people to get around to dumping stuff again before I can take anything. We've got nice boards in there. You've got BGA. I think that's a flat pack because it's got the legs around the edge. BGA stands for ball grid arrangement, which means it's soldered on by little contacts that are underneath in a grid pattern with little solder balls. Hence BGA, ball grid arrangement, as far as I know. So you've got a nice flat pack there. Oh, I'm soon learning all the words. Another flat pack there. I'm treading on unholy ground here. IC chip. I think that might be a memory RAM. I'm not sure. That's a weird one. This is like that, but it's got a little heatsink on it. Anyway, they're very nice looking boards. They're a fair size. It's only 4 screws to take them out. Unlike the A drives, these are just clipped in usually. The A drive ones are usually screwed and clipped. And this is a oh god, is it IDE? This is IDE. These are the bigger sockets. I keep these separate from the SATA cables. The SATA cables are a lot smaller. You get a lot less gold on them. I keep IDA and SATA. SATA are later, so these balls tend to be smaller anyway. So I just keep them separate. Whether they go in the same, I don't know. As I say, I haven't run in my boards yet. So this goes in my bucket marked IDE, which is getting fuller and fuller. This has just got steel rails, steel runners in it, there and there. Sometimes you'll get brass runners and they're worth pulling off. These cables have got silver contacts on the end. Silver contacts again. Sometimes you get them and they're gold contacts and I'll take them out. If they're silver contacts, to be perfectly honest, I don't usually bother. It's funny because I take out relays because they've got silver contacts in them, but I don't take them out of these. Anyway, they can go in the scrap pile. And that's this, rather basic actually, computer scrap a thon, well, thond really, because we're done. Wasn't a lot in there, mind you. Even if it was a complete computer, all it would have had extra would have been a few RAM chips. There was nothing of any great shakes in there. That's pretty much that over and done with, and because the video's a bit short, I thought I'd show you what I got for my Father's Day from my boys. Well, I got this from Nicky, and I got some t-shirts from Fold. Told you I was in the cars. Ah, the child, or Baby Yoda. It's funny because this is a pop, what they're called. I don't know, they're pop ones. They've normally got big heads, but for some reason this one with the big head looks normal. I'm going to try a new camera mount, so that's the right bloody way around. This is getting on my tits. Anyway, that's what I got for Father's Day, and it's up here on my shelf along with my hand solar and carbonite ice cube tray. Of course, that means I've got to save up 700 odd quid for a freaking 12-volt fridge to go in the camper van. As I said to you earlier, the camper van, she is back. DVA taxed her this morning. Start doing some of the bigger work on her now, like cutting cupboards out, getting up on the roof, doing some solar panels. I've got my solar charge controller through this morning, a DCD50S I think it is. Renogy, go with the panels. Lovely jubbly. Catch you later, peeps.